You don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little, expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. Get addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want to invite it. Bet your friends watching in the house and your job parking lot before you clock it. They don't want to miss a second of this HD content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation. Bring it to the table, but if you come back, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn your back and tell you sorry, try again. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey, everybody. Hey, what's going on? Hey, everybody, how you doing? Happy Sunday evening. I know it's late, but I told y'all earlier this morning after I made the announcement about our membership program was just started. And by the way, thanks to those who have already become members. I will be dropping a link in the chat too for those who would like to join the Hood Table Squad members. It's 2 levels, $1.99 for the main level, $4.99 if you want to become a member of level 2. But anywho, so this morning when I told you guys about that, I said I might go live later tonight. So here I am. And you see from the title of the show what we're going to be discussing. Now, this is going to be a part 1 and a part 2 segment. And it's going to be about child support arrearages, about parents trying to, locate their other parents to force them to pay child support. Dealing with people who are deadbeats, and on top of that, they don't want to pay their child support, and they owe not hundreds of dollars, but we talking thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So that's what we're going to be discussing for part 1 and part 2. Would you forgive your child's other parents, large back child support arrears? So let me know if you've ever been involved in something like that, if you owe, if somebody owes you, and if you ever forgave them, and what reasons did you decide to forgive them, or if you didn't forgive them. I mean, in some situations, children come to the age where child support is cut off. And I think in most states, I think it's 19, I believe. Here in Nebraska, where we are, the age is 19. And some states don't know how it goes. Sometimes they have things set up, maybe in some kind of, what am I trying to say? Like some people go to court and they get something set up so that the payee has to pay beyond that if, like, the children, let's say the children go to college or, something like that. So, but with college out the window, I think the normal age for most states is probably 19, I believe. But anywho, so that's what we're going to be discussing. And the first thing I would like to say is make sure you guys like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the Hood Table channel if you are not already subscribed to the channel. And again, I'm going to put the link in here for our members, for people who would like to become a member of the Hood Table Squad. I'm going to put the link in the chat right now. And again, thanks to those who's already signed up for our membership program. Hey. And also this morning I did not only speak about our new members membership program, and it's called the Hood Table Squad. That's what else would it be called? But the Hood Table Squad, Hood Nation, aka Hood Nation. So that's our name. That's us over here, Hood Nation. Okay, that's our name. So thanks to all the people who are subscribers to the Hood Nation, and thanks to everybody who are now members to the Hood Nation. So in the comments or in the chat, I just posted the link. So if you want to become a member of the Hood Nation, just click on it and sign up for either level 1, which is $1.99, or level 2, which is $4.99. And it is a monthly fee, so it comes out every single month. Or you can click the join button right next to the subscribe. You see it under the video, the join button. Either way, it works. But I was following a trial a little while back, and we were going back and forth. And by the way, it was the Joshua Keto trial, and for the young lady Tyler Ty Thomas, who was murdered. And I was following that trial. We was traveling back and forth to Beatrice, Nebraska, and somebody in particular, and I'm not going to say their name, of course, but somebody in particular had, I don't know how we even got on the subject of child support. I don't know how we got on the subject, but we were just driving down the road, driving out of town, go to one of the court trial dates. And by the way, the reason why we were following the trial is because the young lady who was murdered, she was a college student. And she was from here. She was from Omaha, Nebraska, where I'm from. So she was from here, and she ended up going out of town to Peru State College, and she was murdered. And the guy who they tried to pin the murder on kept denying he did it for years. And then finally they had enough proof to pin on him, to charge him with the murder while he was already in prison for raping a teenager. So that's why. So it wasn't like just any old trial that we went to. We was down there to support and follow at the same time the trial of somebody who was a member of our community, So, and also to update people with what was going on, people who couldn't make it to the trial. And plus, you know how the news is. The news, they give you tidbits of information about things. So what I did was every time I went to court, I took very, very, very good notes, and then I would come home and I would put all those notes together, type all those notes up, and I would basically start at the beginning of the trial session all the way to the end and let everybody knows what happened, what victim said, what victim saw, what. So yeah, that trial was really intense. But anyway, if you want to check that out, just look under my videos under Tyler Ty Thomas or Joshua Keto murder trial, and you could watch all those videos I did, from us going back and forth to court to follow that trial. But anywho, one day while traveling down out of town for that trial, somebody had brought up child support, and they had said, if your child's father owed a lot of child support, would you tell child support to delete it all or make it all go away or forgive them, for what they owe or something like that? And I said no. I said no. And I feel like this is a conversation, a topic that we need to talk about, because I done heard, from both sides, from fathers, from mothers, from the payees, from the payer. And the particular person who asked me this was a gentleman. And I said no. And he was like, mine did. I was like, really? I was like, she forgave you? The mother of your children forgave you for all the money that you owe in child support? And I was like, well, why did she? You have to, I guess one would ask, why would somebody forgive somebody who owes a whole bunch of child support? And why would they tell the child support people, don't worry about it, just forget about it, let it go? They owe us $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, $35, $40, $45, $100,000. But it's okay. It's okay. Just let it go. Let them, take it off. And some people are like that, but then some people are like moi, where I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. Now, I got 2 sons, and they both of their fathers paid child support. One of them paid faithfully, the other didn't. the other didn't, and he owes quite a bit. Quite a bit. And I'm like, no, I wouldn't. And even though my child is grown, both of my sons are now grown, I just wouldn't. And I know some people, you do what's best for you. And you sometimes have to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, to understand exactly what they're going through. But I don't care what other people are going through in this situation. I wouldn't do it. And the reason why I wouldn't do it is because I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like I do take pride in not just being a parent. I don't take pride in being a parent because as a parent, you're supposed to do what a parent's supposed to do. You can be proud to be a parent. You can be proud of your children and things like that. But taking pride in parenting, I just think that's something that's supposed to come natural. No matter how hard of a life you have or how good of a life you have, parenting, once you get pregnant, once you do what it takes to get pregnant, and then you have a baby or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10, it's just certain things that you're supposed to do with your seeds. It's with your children. It's just certain things. You're supposed to feed them. You're supposed to clothe them. You're supposed to nurture them. You're supposed to teach them, train them, make sure they got housing, lights, gas, water, all that kind of stuff, and make sure they're not abused. Make sure they're well kept. You don't have to buy them the most expensive things. They don't got to walk around in Jordans every day, but they should look decent. Unless they just outside playing in the yard or something like that, but they should look decent at all times. That is what a parent should do. So I don't take pride in that part of which I did, raising 2 sons by myself, but I can't say that I worked my entire butt off, and it's not a small butt, it's a kind of big one. But I worked my entire butt off to take care and support my kids when they were younger. I've always worked at least 2-3 jobs, always had a couple of hustles, always did what it takes to make sure they had what they needed. If they wanted to be in sports, if they wanted to be in an elite program, how much do it cost? How much do you need? This is what I'm going to do to make sure you get what you need. But it was always if you deserve it, if you earned it. So my kids weren't spoiled by far, but they did receive a lot of things that a lot of kids might not probably could have had. But then there were things that I couldn't get them that other parents could have got their children, So I was a single parent. They had a pretty good life overall. But again, one of my son's fathers, he faithfully paid child support. And if my son would hit him up, not like I didn't buy him sneakers, because what we did as far as like sneakers, because again, both my sons played sports, like all through from grade school, they played. It was track, it was football, it was basketball, it was wrestling. What else? Track, football, wrestling, basketball. It was like 4 or 5 sports they played all through till they graduated high school. So it was cleats, it was basketball shoes, it was football cleats, it was wrestling shoes, it was, $300 for this program, $75 each quarter for this program. Buying the uniforms every year when they grow out of them, it was so much, traveling expenses, hotels, all that kind of stuff. And then all that on top of, I had to pay for lunches for both children. I wasn't a part of that free lunch program when I was raising my kids up. I didn't qualify for Section 8. The only time I qualified for anything like that was when I very first had my first son. I was only making like back then $7-8 an hour. So yeah, I qualified for like Section 8 and Medicaid and things like that. But once I started making more money, I couldn't get the food stamps. I couldn't get this. I couldn't get that, And so what I did was, even though my main income source, I felt was not enough, and I felt that I should be getting some stamps or something, at least $20, at least enough for some eggs, butter, cheese, and milk. Sure, it seemed like the level is so low for you to reach to not be eligible for benefits. But it is what it says. I used to gripe about that all the time, but then as I got older, I stopped griping about it. I used to be those ones. I wish I got food stamps. I wish I had this. I wish I had that. But as I got older, I realized if I did need all that stuff, then that would definitely mean that I'm basically really in poverty. In poverty level, and I don't want to be at that level. So what I did was I worked 2-3 jobs, since the existence of my children, and I had a hustle or 2 or 3 since the existence of my children, so that we never got evicted, never went out with lights, never went out with cable, internet, cell phones. I mean, we never went out with nothing, but we were not rich. Now, again, one of my son's parents faithfully paid child support. The other one, he owes a lot. He owes a lot. And the thing about it is, what first made me want to do this show, and it might be a part 1, part 2, part 3, but so far I'm going to only have part 2, a part 1 and part 2. But when that guy asked me, and again, I don't even know how we got on the conversation, but when he asked me that, I was like, no. I'm like, I worked my entire butt off all my life to take care of my children. And for a man to be petitioned to pay child support to help take care of something he created, and then they don't, and it's not like they just owe hundreds. It's not like every few months they can't pay, or just not paying for years, not trying to pay, not trying to drop 5 on it, nothing. I'm like, well, you are a very blessed man. I just told him you're a very blessed man to have your children's mother to drop all those thousands of dollars of child support from under you. Now, I feel like it would be different. It would be much different if they were at least trying. But there's a lot of people out there, women and men. We're not going to put this all on women. That's why I said, would you forgive your child's other parents' large back child support arrears? I didn't say your child's father. I didn't say your child's mother, because there are single parents out there who are men and single parents who are women and who have the other parents paying child support. So, but in this case, I told him, you are very blessed to have your children's mother, have child support wipe you clean. Just wipe your slate clean. And a lot of times the child support, when it's in a lot of money, it goes on their credit. It goes on their credit. It can affect them getting jobs, loans, homes, cars, it can hurt them financially. Some of them get their driver's license taken away. Some of them get put in jail. I don't think my son's father, who owes a lot, ever got put in jail, but I know before he had his license taken away. I know that happened. I don't even know if he has a license right now. I doubt it. I mean, if they took it away, I would think they wouldn't give it back until you got caught up on your child support. So go figure. But anywho, so I said, no, I wouldn't do it. I said, nope. Now, it'd be a difference if he was trying, if he was making an attempt. No. And see, the thing in my situation with like a lot of people that I have talked to who have personally told me their child support horror stories, a lot of the people who owe child support, they get jobs where they get paid under the table, as in one of my son's fathers. He has been working under the table for about 10 years. About 10 years, 6, 10. Let me think, because I don't want to lie. I don't want to exaggerate. I'll probably say 6 or 7 years he's been working under the table. But it's been about 10 years since he's filed taxes. So not only is he working under the table, he has one of these jobs. He had one of these jobs where he moves furniture, and the company hire contractors out to dry some of the trucks. So he always makes sure he works for the contractor because the contractor don't pay them in checks. The contractor pays them in cash. So that's what he's been doing for years. Hey, Carla Prince, how you doing? Red Beans 365. You said you did it and you got burned. You forgave your child's other parents large back pay, large amount of child support, and you got burned. Explain what happened. And if you want to jump on the stream with me and come up on the screen with me, I can drop the link if you want. You don't have to, but if you want, I'll drop the link if you want to come on and let us know your story. Let us know what happened. But in my case, and in a lot of people cases that I know, the other parent has worked under the table. Now, again, I have two sons. One of the fathers paid faithfully, and he did all kind of other stuff on top of that. All kind of other stuff. Like my sons who play sports a lot. One of my sons was a big a big oh my God, what's his name? Oh God, now I can't think of the guy's name. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, not Kobe Bryant, not Shaq, not Cleveland, Ohio. Help me out, y'all. Help me out. What is his name? LeBron James. Okay. I don't know why that just left my mind. But one of my sons was a huge LeBron James fan. So every pair of basketball shoes that he wanted was LeBron James. And of course, you know, the way I raise my kids, if you deserve it, you shall have. If your grades are good, if your chores are done like they're supposed to be, homework, you being obedient, you being a good child, you know, a good child, not a perfect child, but a good child, then, you know, I would grant you that. So me and his father would switch off. Every few months, I would pay the $200 for some shoes. A few months later, he would pay the $200. So we would flip off like that. And mind you, he was still paying child support and other things that he did. My son would hit him up, Dad, can I get this? Can I da 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 da? And his dad be like, all right, you know, he was just one of those where he did stuff, plus he did other stuff. I never asked him to do anything else. That was his son. He could ask me for stuff, but he was like, Mom, you do all this and do all that. I'm gonna ask Dad. So, you know, and you said no, I wouldn't either. Well, if you want to jump on the live stream with me up here and talk to me in person on the screen, just click in the link. Hey, Empress. You said, no, I wouldn't either. They still owe, and all my children is grown. Red Bean said, yep, 7,000. Forgave him. My daughter was 4. I just went back to court to get all retro shoes. So hold up. I need to know about that, Red Beans. So you can forgive them for child support and then file to get retro? You can file to get the money back? I didn't know you could do that. I was under the impression that if you release your other child's parent from all the money that they owe, that was it. You can't ever go back and be like, oh, I changed my mind. I want my 25,000. You know, I want it back. So I didn't know that you could. Wow. You said he got locked up, so I forgave. Okay. And see, my oldest son's father, he never got locked up. And I don't even know how I would feel if he did. I mean, I don't want nobody to go to jail. Let me just say that. I don't want nobody to go to jail. Ever. Sure. And he'd have been to jail. You know, quite a few times. But it wasn't because of me. That was all because of something he did in the past before we even met. So I would never want nobody to go to jail. But, you know, that I don't. It's like the parent who's taking care of the kid. It's like if they have the other parent not doing anything, not giving them $25, you know, like my grandma used to say. My grandma used to say, Grandma, rest in peace. But she used to say, when you owe bill collectors, even if you send them $1 every month, they cannot say that you are not paying them. And I feel that way about child support. You ain't putting 5 on it. You ain't putting 25 on it a month, and you working under the table. I think that is so. I think that is so horrible, so horrible. And in my case, my oldest son's father, the one who wasn't paying child support and still owes, he owes so much. He owes so much. I could buy a house. Maybe not a really, really expensive, bougie, in the best neighborhood house, but I can buy a decent house with a driveway, a garage, 2 bedrooms, at least 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, at least, a yard. I can buy a house cash. That's how much my oldest son's father paid. And again, he works. It's not like he doesn't work. And the thing about it is, the reason why I wanted to talk about this, because I wanted to have people talk about their situations with it as well, and how they might have rectified the situation. Like, I know some people get attorneys, but like in a situation, one of my friends just told me this, literally like the other day, about her son's father. Hey, Melissa King. Melissa King is a member of the Hood Squad. Hey, she got her loyalty badge right next to her name. Thank you, Melissa. People have been signing up. Carla Prince too. She is a member. I want to make sure I give y'all all shout outs. I want to make sure I always shout out my members of the Hood Table Squad. Hey, is it Tanya or is it Tanaya? I want to make sure I say it right, because I know my name is Tanya too, and it's spelled Tanya. But yes, again, if anybody wants to join the Hood Squad membership, it's 2 levels, $1.99 for the level 1 and $4.99 for level 2. You can click the join button right by the subscribe button, or I can put the link in the chat, which I am doing right now. And you can just click on the link to do it. And it is a monthly fee that YouTube takes out every month. So, but even those who don't become members, I still love all of you guys. I appreciate everybody's support. But yeah, my friend told me the other day that her child's father, who owes like, oh my God, 20, 30,000, something like that. She just got a letter from child support saying that they can't, since they haven't been able to find him in years, and she knows that he works under the table, since they haven't been able to find an employer for him for years, because at least with our location, they check every night. You said it is Tanya. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope you subscribe and make sure you hit the notification bell. And if you want to become a member, you can do that too. But yeah, she told me that the child support told her they're going to delete the case, close the case. He can owe $100,000. She ain't getting nothing ever. Now, that's crazy, because I thought that child support is like a student loan. Like, it never goes away. Even up to the day you die, you will always owe that money. That's what I thought. And they said they told her they couldn't find him for years. They couldn't find him. Same situation with my son's oldest father. They haven't been able to find him, actually, his social security number on any employer's payroll, because he works under the table. And why I know he works under the table? Because I know where he works. I know where he works. And how do I know where he works? Is because my son had got a job there, and my son was also working under the table, and he was like, I saw Dad today at work. And I'm like, at work? Where he work at? And when he told me, I said, what? So I called child support. Oh, I found out where he worked. Like, months went by, no money, no payment, no nothing. And I'm calling child support again, like, I told y'all where he worked 2 months ago. Man, we've been sending letters to that company, and they don't have him on the payroll. So I talked to my son about it. And he said, Mom, that's because some of the people out there work for contractors, and the contractors pay them cash. And he said, Dad works for a contractor. And he's been working at that job for years, making good money, good money. But child support can't do anything about it. Even if they know he works there, they can't do anything if they're getting paid cash. And the government can't do anything, like the fact that he ain't filed taxes in over 10 years. They can't do anything because they have no proof that he's working anywhere. So they have no proof that he's not filing taxes like he's supposed to. If he did file taxes, oh my God. He would probably owe so much money. Oh my God. You said, oh wow, that's not fair. I didn't know they could delete child support. I didn't either. I just assumed that the only way it got deleted was if the mother, or if it's a father who's a single parent, if the father says, okay, take the support payments away from their mother, it's all right. We good, you know. And to me, it's not the fact if you good or not, because we've been good. One child got child support from day one when we broke up till he turned 19. The other child, the father is almost $25K right now. But we've been good. We still good. My oldest son on his own, got a good job, car, went to college, got his own apartment, him and his girlfriend, you know, so it ain't like he's on the struggle. I mean, well, I ain't gonna say that because everybody struggles. Ain't none of us rich, so we all struggle from time to time. So I ain't gonna say that he don't struggle. But you know what I mean? He ain't homeless. You know, he ain't walking around here. He ain't on drugs. He ain't in jail. He don't got 50 kids all over Omaha. He ain't even got one kid. So, you know, you said in Alabama, if you don't pay, you go to jail if they know they're residents. And see, my oldest son's father never went to jail. And sometimes they have known where he lived, and sometimes he did. But you know the kicker, y'all? The kicker, this is the kicker. The biggest kicker of it all for me, no matter who it is that is supposed to get the support. The kicker is when the person who's supposed to pay the support don't pay the support, but they start dating somebody else with kids, and they start helping that person with their kids, helping that person raise their kids. The man moves in with another woman, helping her bills, her lights, her gas, food, water, helping take care of kids, babysitting, all that, going to the kids' games and events, all that. They playing house, if not married. And then still owe money to... It's crazy. It's crazy. I know y'all, some of y'all might remember when Miss Sislow, when I interviewed Miss Sislow, probably about a month ago, maybe, I interviewed Miss Sislow, and she was telling the story how her husband at the time was a pastor and she was a first lady. And Miss Sislow is one of my moderators, by the way. And she has her own channel. But she used to be married to a pastor, so she was a first lady. And after being married for a while, some years, he started to cheat on her, and he was cheating on her with members of the church. And once they eventually called it off because she couldn't take it no more, and mind you, he's still a pastor. But once they eventually called it off, of course, they separated, and he had to pay child support. He owes so much child support. And that ain't the only pastor I know of from people that I know personally or that you hear, you know, out in the public. Pastors that owe so much money to child support from kids in a prior relationship. I'm like, y'all take up all them funds for the church, the building fund, the teen fund, the summer program fund, just, you know, all the different funds they do at the church. Y'all can't take up a child support fund for the pastor help him pay off his child support bill. Oh, child. You said you actually saw that interview. You saw that interview, Melissa? Man, that interview had me on the edge of my seat. Like, he did what? When Miss Sislo said that one of the women that he was messing with, mind you, her husband was a pastor of a whole church, a well-known pastor. And when she said he had moved in one of the women in their house while she was out, I think she was at work, she was somewhere, she wasn't at home. She come home, this whole nother woman up in there with her clothes, her bags, and everything. And they in her room. That interview, y'all, if y'all, what the heck was the name of that interview? I did that interview like a month ago. It was called, let me see. Matter of fact, I might as well drop the link in here just in case some of y'all want to watch. Man, that interview had me gagging. I was like, no, he didn't. He would have got cut. How you gonna move someone? Like, I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up for the sister wife program. I didn't know that when I said I was married now, that I was gonna have a whole sister wife. No, I didn't sign up for that. Shoot, he lucky he didn't get cut. He didn't get shanked. Man, okay, here's the link. I'm gonna put the link in here for this interview I did. And it was actually on May 12th. It was May 12th. And it's called the interview or the show was called A Former Pastor's Wife Shares Story About Her Husband and Pastor and His Mistress. That was the name of the show I did when I interviewed Miss Sislo. And I'm going to put the link in here. Here you go, Tanya. Man, I'm telling you, that interview was lit. I was like, no, he didn't. No. He had women all over town, and he was a whole pastor. So not only did he send her through all that mess when he was married to her, but after they separated and she filed child support, he never paid up. Man, you a whole pastor. See, that's why a lot of people don't go to church. That's why a lot of people don't give to the church, even though the Bible say give your 10%. You're welcome, boo. Even though the Bible says give your 10%, some people put in a few dollars every Sunday or whenever they go to church because they be like, shoot, the pastor ain't tricking off of me. Shoot, it's tricking if you got it. He ain't tricking off of me. But no, I couldn't imagine. But then, being that it's a pastor, again, let me get back to the main part of that. A pastor who owes thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of child support. I would just think, and many times pastors, they raise funds for the homeless. They raise funds for kids programs, women's programs, shelters, food pantries, all that kind of stuff. I would sure be up there at the church talking about, y'all can't raise no money so that y'all pastor can pay off his child support. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. But when my friend that I'm going to have on the show tomorrow, the lady that is dealing with child support now, they sent her a letter saying, we haven't been able to find your son's father in years. So therefore, we are going to close this child support and we're just, it's over. It's done. What can you do about that? It doesn't seem fair. I mean, is this going on in other parts of the world? Or is this just going on in Nebraska? Because immediately I felt like, well, dang, that could probably happen to me. My oldest son's father still owe me up in the 20s, you know. So will I get a letter one day saying, we sorry, but your child's father no longer owes you child support because we ain't been able to find him in years? And let me reiterate again, I have two sons. One of their fathers paid faithfully. I know he subscribes to my YouTube channel. He follows me. He's in our The Hood Table Squad Facebook group. You know, we cool. You know, we ain't been together in years, but we still cool. We one of those parents that we cool. I'm still besties with his sisters, and just was on the phone with one of his sisters. We was on the phone for like 2 hours earlier today. So yeah, we cool. We cool. But it's the other one. It's the other son's father who is like, I'm like, what the hell? What the hell? Hold on 1 second. Somebody at my door. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Ooh, damn, my head and lifted up and everything. I was running through the house. That was my child. I'm like, why you ain't using your key? He had all these bags of groceries. See, that's what good children do. Even though mother takes care of everything, he still comes home with stuff every now and then. Now and then, you know, not all the time, but now and then. You said you never heard of that, but you never know. I would be pissed. You know what? My stepfather, when he got with my mother, he already had 2 kids, a daughter and a boy. And he had got behind in child support, like got way behind in child support. But they was taking it out of his paychecks every week. He did not finish paying back that child support till his kids was in their 30s. So he paid for child support all them years. So I don't know if it's because, I don't know if it's like always with you, the person who has to pay, if it's always going to be there, that bill always going to be there if you paying. But it just sends a sign to the men who don't pay. Like just keep hiding, just keep hiding out, just keep working under the table, just keep, hopping job to job. Eventually the state is gonna tell your baby mama he don't owe you nothing else because we can't find him. So we just gonna wipe the slate clean. You said you would get a lawyer. Hey, Empress Lisa, man, I thought about that, but then I'm like, how much would a lawyer cost for something like that? Would I have to pay them? Or is it the case where you don't pay unless they make money? One of those lawyers where they do it for free, basically, and then whatever you get in the settlement, they get a portion. You said she is going to get, and this is happening all over again. Why do you have to hire a lawyer? The individual get paid under the table, lose out. It's crazy. But you know what? They lose out in the long run as well, Carla, because if you're working under the table, and I'm going to just say, if you're working under the table, you could even be making some good money, but you can't put it in the bank. You can't save it. You can probably put it on one of those prepaid debit cards or whatever you call it, something like that. But you can't open no bank accounts. You still can't get no loans. I mean, basically, if you want to buy a house or anything like that, you can't do nothing like that. It's always going to be on your credit. And then on top of that, once you get too old to work, let's say, like y'all know I work in disability, right? So that's one of my jobs. I got like 10, 11, 15 Jamaican jobs, but okay, I'm dragging it. But let's say they get hurt. If they're working under the table for cash, they don't have no disability insurance. They don't have no 401k. They don't have none of that type of stuff. Because they working for contractors. And that's what my oldest son's father does. I don't know what my friends or anybody else, that told me about their story. I don't know what that parent did. But, I mean, if you get 50, 60, 65 years old, what you going to do for income? What you going to do for income if you ain't been on paper? If you ain't been paying into the government? What you going to do when you 50, 60, 65, 70 years old? And especially if you can't pay on your child support at all, I'm going to just assume that you're not saving up your money and preparing for your future as an old head. I'm just guessing. I'm just assuming. You said your brother's in Atlanta and he and his wife just split. He was paying $1K a month for 2 kids. Whew, that's a lot. But it also depends on how much he makes too. It also depends on how much he makes. I know some people who don't pay hardly nothing. They pay like, I don't know, $150 per child, something like that. Then there's some people who makes really good money, you know, and they got to pay like $1,000, $1,500 a month. But it all depends on, you know, how much they make. But yeah, no benefits, Tanya, no benefits at all once you get retirement age. And who gonna take care of your old dusty butt? Unless they, you know, still with a woman who got the kids that they've been taking care. Maybe the new woman and the kids that she has will take care of them when they older, being that they probably was helping out, you know, not paying their child support of their own kids, but you know, since they was helping out these other kids and their family, and maybe once they get older, they like, we'll take care of you. Woo, child. You said when it comes time for them to file for Social Security, their regular Social Security benefits can be held up to take care of your child support. I'm like, shoot. Let me screenshot this. Let me take a picture of this. Because I'm going to remember this. Hold up. I'm going to take a picture of myself and that comment. Okay. So, thank you for saying that, Carla. And Tanya said, no benefit. Yep, no benefits. And that's sad. It's not only sad that the child is not receiving anything. And you know what? I was never one. I mean, I can have my son on this show and he will testify. He is 24. He'll testify that while he was growing up, I never said, I might have said stuff to people like friends and family about his dad, but not to him. Never, ever. Once he got older, that's when we started having grown folk conversation. Once he graduated, went to college and things like that, I told him if his dad ever started to pay child support, I told him, I said, he owes so much money, I might die before I get the last dime that he owes. And I said, this is what we'll do. Since I raised you and bust my ass working 2, 3, 4 jobs, raising you and 2, 3 hustles, what we'll do is whatever he pay, I'll give you half. And he's like, I'm cool with that. He said, you ain't got to give me nothing. And I'm like, no. I said, whatever you need, you a grown man now. Whatever you need is going to come out that child support. If he ever pays. But my son is like, Mom, you paid for everything. Every sports program, every pair of $150, $200 pair of shoes, every trip out of town with our schools, every lunch, every single day, every birthday party that was $300, $400, $500, $600 every year. I mean, he was like, you did everything, like everything. But I'm like, no, because I did raise y'all. And I'm good. Y'all good. But, you know, and he was like, that's cool. He said, if he ever makes it rain, we'll take that money and we'll go shop and we'll pay off some bills, some debts, whatever. But that's just how I feel. Now, some people are different. They'll be like, oh, I'm going to give it totally to my son. Or, oh, I'm going to tell child support, we don't even need the money anymore. Just cancel their debt. That's one thing I will never do. If that debt gets canceled, it'll definitely be because the government canceled the debt. Because as long as I'm still on this earth and breathing, you're going to pay what you owe. You're going to pay what you owe. That's just me. But again, some parents are like, we don't need it, especially once the kids get grown. Some parents do feel like, well, why should I keep, child support in the circle? They ain't paying. The child is grown. I mean, no, but what if your child is going to college? What if your child wants to buy a car? What if your child wants to buy a house? What if your child wants to, I don't know. Eventually, this is money that was due to them. And I think they have every right to it. But that's just me. You said, right, I got one child. My ex only has to pay $148 every 2 weeks. Yeah, and see, that's the thing. You know what? my youngest son, the father who paid faithfully and did all kind of extra stuff on, he still do. Oh my God, that boy is spoiled by his father. Like, real talk, he is so spoiled. He can call his dad right now. Dad, can I, he's a full-time college student. So that's the one thing my youngest son has on him. Both my sons went to college, but the thing about it is he's grown now. His father no longer has to pay child support, but his dad still, like, he pays his cell phone bill. He'll buy him stuff. He sends him stuff. He'll do anything. If his car breaks down, he'll call his dad, like, as if I can't do anything. But he always, both of my sons has always been like, Mom, you do so much. You do so much. So if we want, we'll just call the dad, and I'll just be like, whatever. Whatever. And then sometimes it's been times where, like, something to come up and his father be like, okay, do you want to break this in half? Do you want to pay this? I'm like, cool. And it's been times where I done told him, call your dad, tell him I got $250 on this, especially around graduation time. All them graduation fees. I was like, tell your dad this much comes this month. I got the party. Ask him, do he got the hall? I got the DJ. As parents, you just work things out like that, and that's how I've always been with that particular son's father. The other one, but yeah, but my response to Melissa's comment, because you said your ex pays $148 every 2 weeks. My youngest son's dad, he didn't pay a whole lot because around the time we split, he wasn't making a lot of money. He was a college student. He was going to school full time, and he didn't make a lot of money. So I think his payments every 2 weeks was like $170, something like that. And my son is hammering on his wall. He is always hanging up stuff. He went to the gun range. My son went to the gun range the other day. Him and his friends, they be practicing on their shooting game. As soon as he comes home, he's hanging up all his, the chart with the body and all the bullet holes, and he's hanging it up on his wall. I'm like, just let me know when you decide to get a gun, because you still got like at least 3 more years to stay here for college, and I need to know if you're going to get a gun. And he's like, Mom, I'm getting a gun. I'm like, And his excuse, we live in the hood. I'm like, we've been living in the hood all my life. All my life, I've lived in the hood. All your life, you lived in the hood. I ain't never needed no gun. But he insists. So anyway, y'all, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, so anyway, he that's what the youngest one's father paid. It was like $170 every 2 weeks. Now, once he started making more money, because he got like 2 degrees, he went to college 2 times within like 12 years. He makes really good money. But once he even started to make good money, the second son's father, who's always paid his child support, I never once asked for an increase. And in our state, I don't know what it is like in your state, but in our state, we get like a paper once a year or like once every 2 years. And it says it is around the time where you can ask for an adjustment to your child support. And I always threw it in the trash. Why? Because he faithfully paid and he did other things on top of that. Like my son's cell phone bill. My son is 19 and been having a cell phone since he was like 13. Yeah, 13, because I didn't allow neither one to have phones till they were 13. So for the last 6 years, my son has got a brand new iPhone every year. His dad pays his phone bill every month for the last 6 years. So that's, on top of paying the child support, on top of doing other things for him. So, like I said, his dad, he's just one of those that just loves to do stuff for his child when he can, and he does. So I never asked for an increase. Never, ever. He can tell you that not one red penny. But the other father, on the flip side, I never asked for an increase either. Why? Because he ain't paid in years. So why ask for an increase if he can't even pay what he owed? You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is on that one. So his the amount that he was supposed to pay years ago is still that set amount that he's supposed to pay. But you said I'm the same way. My daughter is 10 and thinks she has the world's best dad. Oh, my youngest son, and I always say that. I always say, to people, his dad is really great. But one thing I didn't do when they were growing up, I always made sure that my oldest son didn't know everything that his dad did for the second child. And I always made sure that my oldest son had everything or equal to what the other one had. If one was in sports, the other one was in sports. If one wanted to join the elite team and travel for the summer, the other one did as well. If one, you know what I'm saying? So it was always, even though I had to pay for everything, it was cool. It was cool. I wanted to make sure my sons felt equal. I didn't want them ever to feel like, oh, my father ain't shit. My brother's father does all this. You know what I'm saying? It was never any of that. My oldest son never felt that way. He knew, that his dad owed child support and all that kind of stuff. He didn't know the amount. He just know, it was owed. He didn't know the whole amount till he was grown. That's when I told him, this is how much you're owed. We are owed. This is how much we are owed. Because personally, my son isn't owed anything because I totally took care of him and some for years. So technically, I'm the one who owed. But like I told my son, if the money ever comes, we splitting that. We splitting that. And even though my son was like, I don't want it, you keep it all. You done everything. You was a great mom. Woo, woo, woo. No, I'm still going to give you your share. So that's just how I'm going to do it. But anyway, y'all, it's getting late. It's almost 10:30. Again, this is just part one. Tomorrow, we're going to have a guest on our show, and they're going to tell us their child support story. And then anybody else tomorrow night who might want to jump on the live stream, because we're going live early tomorrow. It's not going to be this late. I was just up and I was sitting around and I was like, I wanted to get a feeling of, how people feel about this issue. And if, because I know a lot of people deal with the other parent, lady or man, male or female, and they deal with the other parent not paying child support. And it's kind of hard to raise kids without the help of two incomes. It's really hard. But I just wanted to see how some people feel. Would you forgive them for the money they owe if it's like way up there in the thousands, like way up there? Or would you be like me? Until you die or until I die, that money is gonna be old. So that's just how I feel about it. But you said right, because you didn't want one to have less. Yeah, they never did. Never. I don't know how many times people used to tell me that both of my sons were spoiled growing up. And I'm like, nah, ask my sons what they had to do to get that PlayStation. Ask them how high their grades had to be before they went out of town with that elite game. That elite sports team. Ask them what they had to do to get them $200 Jordans. See, I was never one of those parents who just, here you go, let's go shopping. Nope. Being that I was a single parent and I worked hard, 2-3 jobs their whole life, and I still work 2-3 jobs, I didn't just toss stuff at them. Here you go. They have to do their chores. They have to have good grades, do their homework. They have to be good in school, not getting in trouble all the time, not at home back talking and acting like, they smelling themselves now. And they, how kids get teenagers and all of a sudden I ain't doing this. I come home when I want to. As long as they didn't act like any of those horrible children that we know are out there, you good with me. You good with me. But yeah, so everybody make sure you like this video, share this video, and also subscribe to the Hood Table channel and hit the notification bell if you have not already done that, so that you can make sure you don't miss any of our videos. And also, again, I'm going to drop the link If you would like to become a member of the Hood Table Squad and become a part of Hood Nation, I'm going to drop the link so that you could join our membership. And again, it's 2 different levels. Level 1 is only $1.99, only $1.99 a month, less than $2. And the second level is $4.99 per month. And when you click on the link to join, it tells you what perks are offered for each level. So it's more of like a way that YouTube allows YouTubers to get support from their loyal subscribers. You know, I know some people call their people fans and things like that. I usually say family or subscribers, but that's basically what it is. If you want to support somebody's YouTube channel, you can click the join button and become a member. And basically, even though Google takes 30% off of whatever we get on here, on the ads, the commercials on our videos, Google gets 30%. On the super chats, Google get 30%. On the membership fees, Google get 30%. That's how Google is so filthy rich, because all these millions of YouTubers, the ones who make, you know, coinage off of their videos or whatnot, Google gets 30% off top. So that's why a lot of people always post in their PayPal or their Cash App and prefer to get paid that way by people who want to support their channel, because of course the money goes right to them. It bypasses Google, so ain't nobody taking out no percentage. So that's why a lot of people do have their Cash Apps and their PayPal's information attached to their videos. But regardless, always say, those who support me, whether it's a like, share, subscribe, coming in, checking in, chopping it up with me, jumping in on the screen with me sometimes, I appreciate all the support. And those of y'all who are in the Hood Table Squad Facebook group, please know that everything you post in there, as far as like different stories, people inbox me, people text me, people IG me, people tag me and stuff all the time on stories that they think we should discuss on the Hood Table. Please know that I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you. Hey Torres, what's up? How you doing? How you doing? But yep, so on that note, everybody stay safe, be blessed. Make sure you need to hold up, Torres. Let me read this comment first. You said Google need to say Google is like Uncle Sam, child. Just like Uncle Sam, everything you make, a portion goes to the government. Google is the same way. Everything you make goes to, well, 30% goes to Google. So it's kind of like the government. It's kind of like Uncle Sam. Ooh, it's crazy though, but no matter what, you know what, I appreciate anything that anybody, you know, does for our channel, so it's greatly appreciated. And again, if you want to join, you can click this link in the chat, or you can click the join button next to the subscribe button underneath the video, and it's on our main YouTube channel page as well. So in the meantime and in between time, stay safe, be blessed, stay healthy, remain vigilant, and like Torres said, peace and blessings, everyone. We out. Deuces. Oh, and we'll be back tomorrow for part 2 of this segment, okay? So tune in tomorrow. It'll probably be like 8 o'clock. All right, bye-bye.